Hi and welcome to this channel. My name is Madhu and I have authored 6 books and I have a vision. I want every coach, every expert to publish their own book, and that's why this channel. With that vision, let's get started. I'm a project manager, and as you know, one of my favorite books is Hacking Project Management. I'm all about hacks, all about making things simple. As I have always said, the life is really complex, so why add more complexity to it? So let's make things simple. One of the things that I learned during this process of publishing books is you got to break down the entire process into a couple of steps, and there are some definite steps that any book goes through, and that's what we will discuss today, the 5 steps any book has to go through. So keep in mind these steps when you start visualizing your book, and you will see that breaking it down in smaller steps is easy to move from one to second, second to third, so on and so forth, and complete your book. So with that thought in mind, let's get started. So the 5 key steps of any book publishing process are these. The first and foremost is the theme of the book. Think of it as an aftertaste. You go to a beautiful restaurant, a gourmet restaurant, you have some food, you like what you're eating, but the aftertaste, once you have enjoy your food, the aftertaste, the after mood, that's really important. Think of the thoughts that you will plant in the reader's mind. This is a point where the reader has completed reading your book. At this point, what do you want him or her to be thinking about? What are the new thoughts, change in thoughts, alignment of thoughts, the mood of your reader? As Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, has said, start with end in mind. So the first step of any book is that end of what the reader will achieve from this book. And the simpler you can put that across, the better your vision for the book would be. Do not try to put this into multiple sentences. It should be more or less 8 to 10 words, just one single sentence. For example, my book, Hacking Project Management, this helps any newbie enter the world of project management. That's one way to look at it. If I have to rephrase, I would say this book can help anyone manage a project professionally. That's it. The more clearer your statement would be, the better other steps or the next steps would be. So try to drill it down, sit down, maybe use ChatGPT, other AI models, talk to your friend. Try to have a very simple statement of what your book does to the reader. What is the benefit the reader will achieve after reading? So that's step one. And you can see, these steps are going on top of each other. It's like, building a building. Your basement has to be strong, and so on and so forth. So this one is a really important step. This is the one which is make or break your book. So focus on the concept, the theme of the book. That's number one. Once you are done with this, we move on to the next step, which is content creation. Now I'm sure you can see the relationship, that you already know what is the feeling the reader is going to have after reading this book. So it's a lot easier for you to create the content. If I have to talk a little bit technical, I would even allow you to go and say, create a reader persona. My reader persona for this book, for example, was somebody who is in his probably 30s, early 30s, has not been exposed to formal project management, has been working in an organization for more than 10 years, is a little bit frustrated, looking for some easy tips or easy tricks to get or to manage his project professionally. So that's why this book. So create a persona, create 2 personas if you want, or more, but be very clear, about the persona, of the gender of the persona, what kind of clothes he or she wears, what are their moods, what are they liking, what office they go to, what kind of city they live in, which country they live in, what about their family. So think of those things, have 2 client or reader personas in mind, and then create the content. Today, content creation is a lot easier with AI. I'm not saying go use AI for all your content generation, but what I have seen or what I have experienced is it's not easy to create 500 words, but it's easy to create 1,000 words, delete 500 and reuse the rest. So use ChatGPT wisely, use AI models wisely, and create your content. Once you have your concept ready, once you have your content ready, we move on to the next step, which is proofing. When it comes to proofing, it's all about reading it again, sequencing it. You cannot have one chapter somewhere sitting here and then suddenly a jerk, and the other chapter, the usage of words, usage of tone, the mood of the chapter being very different. It has to be smooth, it has to be aligned, it has to be leveled. Technically, the reader should not even know when he has moved from chapter 1 to 2, and so on and so forth. You'll also look at the content, the context that you are setting with the book, the division of chapters. It should be at the right places. You may want to infuse some pictures, some tools or technique so that it's not high and dry for the reader. If you look at this video, every now and then I am putting some images, some videos. That's because it's the screen has to keep moving. You will not like to see my face all the time, and that's why I have to put something to keep this the viewers engaged. Same goes for your readers. Along with the text, have some action for them, have some tools, techniques, something they can refer to, a couple of pictures in between, play strategically, would really go a long way. So the first step was concept, the second is content, the third is proofing. You are maturing your content and agreeing, okay, this is a book which I think is good to go. Once you're done with that, the next step is designing. Designing includes both book cover, of course. There's a lot of content, a lot of thought that has to go into the book cover, back cover, front cover, and once you are done, you also need to focus on the interior designing. A lot of my clients really undermine interior designing, but let me show you a couple of examples. You can look at this one. This is how it started, and this is how it looks. So you can see the difference that interior designing can bring. So interior designing, book cover, back cover, and you're done with this step. And with that, we come to the last step, which is publishing. So now you have your PDF ready for the book. You have your PDF or a JPG or a picture ready for the book cover and back cover. It's time to finalize which publisher to go with. Do you want to publish on Amazon KDP or with anybody else? And now, since you have everything together, you can press the button and go for it. And it's time to celebrate. You are now an author. Few things to remember. Any publisher that you work with will allow you to make minor changes to the book. So even if you have pressed the button, you have published your book, don't fret if you find a grammatical mistake or a spelling mistake or something that is not right. Go ahead, fix it on your document, resend to your publisher. They will go ahead and update that in their system. On Amazon KDP, it usually takes around 1 to 2 weeks for the new file to start loading and showing up across the globe. But yeah, it's not a full stop. So you want to make some changes, you can go ahead and do that. I hope these 5 steps and the clarity of these 5 steps really helps you understand where you are in the book publishing journey, and also helps you have a clearer path ahead of you. And that's the entire purpose of this video, just sharing my knowledge with you, helping you move from one step to another. I would love to hear your experience. Which step are you in currently, and how soon you think you will be able to complete your book? Looking forward to hearing from you. Do subscribe and like so that you see more such videos which helps you move from where you are to a celebrated published author. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.